Hi, and welcome to my channel. My name is Amanda, and it's time to see what I'm going to read in February. Just ignore these. I went to Disney, and now they're a part of my body, and I wear them constantly. That's not true because they give me a headache. So I'm wearing them for this video. Enjoy. Now, first, we're going to do the rolls because that's always the most exciting part. And then after that, we'll talk about all the books that I want to add on to these 5. But I have a special guest that's going to be doing the rolling for me. My mother is here. Okay, so we're going to start off with roll number 1. Roll number 1. That's what you have to do. 9. Okay, so roll number 1 landed in the NPR section, and it is short stories and essays, and it's 2013. So we go over here to short stories, essays. This also has poetry in it, and for 2013, there are 25 of them. Pick a number 1 to 25. Okay, it's 9, but the sound's not on our phone. 1, 2, 9. It's called This Close Stories by Jessica Francis Kane. So I'm going to be reading short stories. Okay, roll number 2. What is it? 8? Okay, so chance means a physical book. So we're going to ask her phone a lot of questions. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4 bookshelves. So we're going to first ask it to pick a number 1 to 4.
The answer is 4.
Okay, so it's going to be one of those books. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shelves. So we're going to have a number 1 to 5 to see which shelf it's on.
The answer is 4.
Okay, shelf number 4. Okay, so there are 24 books on that shelf. Pick a number 1 to 24.
It's 21.
21.
And the winner is
Wicked Deeds by Heather Graham. Here's what I think I know about this. I think it's a paranormal romance. I also think that because it says crew of hunters and it's spelled like a New Orleans Mardi Gras crew, that maybe it takes place in New Orleans. I don't know. Anyway, that's my prediction. I will tell you about it when I read it. Okay, roll number 3. So the chest is the next book in a series. And so I go to my old authors over here. And the next one that I'm supposed to read is Zach Argyle, which is perfect because his book, Stones of Light, is the next book in his series. So I'm going to read Stones of Light by Zach Argyle. Okay, roll number 4. 1.
and it says 6.
So for number 1, it is back to our story graph, and it is number 6. So I go to my to be read pile and I make it where it is showing me the earliest added. So I'm looking at the oldest ones on my list and I count down to number 6. And that is Real Murders by Charlaine Harris. This is number 1 in the Aurora Tea Garden series. It's supposed to be a crime mystery fiction, it says. First published in 1990, so we're going way back. However, it says it's only 175 pages, so that is great news. Okay, the last roll, number 5.
2. We got 1, 2, and it says chance again. So
Another physical book.
really,
Yep. Okay, let's go again. Pick a number 1 to 4.
It's 1.
Oh, over here. Okay, so physical TBR. This is short stories, collected stories from Carson McCullers. I got this at a thrift books or something where they were a big bundle of them or something. So anyway, I haven't read any of these. I'm going to see how many are in here and then break them up for the month and maybe just read a little bit as I go along. That's probably what I'll do for the other short story book. But I can't believe that 2 out of my 5 books were short stories. Okay, so let's talk about the other books that I have to read that are not part of the game. So those are my 5 books for the game. I am also in February swapping some TBR books with Nicole from Dusty Book Sniffers. So I sent her 2 books to read, and she sent me 2 books to read. Not physically sent the books, just told us the names. So I am reading They Call Me Night by Yasmin Ango. I think that's how you say it. And My Best Friend's Exorcism by Grady Hendrix. I have been waiting to read this Grady Hendrix book for a really long time, so I'm excited about both of those. Also, I was asked if I wanted to be part of a book tour, and so it's called Let Your Lips Twitch, and it's short stories that are supposed to be funny, like comedy, Let Your Lips Twitch. You get it? Anyway, so this book I will be reading and talking about it during one of the weeks in February. That's like the week that the book is coming out. So I'm doing a book tour, my first one. Also, if you are part of the Bookstara read along with Amy and all the other people over on that Discord, then we are reading the first novella, I guess. It's like a half book called The Pale Dreamer. So that's what's being read in February. None of the novels are starting yet, but they'll be reading that like prequel, I guess, to the first book. I'm also leaving a spot on here for whatever Amy's reader prompt is when she does her February TBR and she does the spinner prompt for us. And then in the Dresden read along over on the Nerdy Narrative Discord, I am reading Full Moon, which is the novel, and then the graphic novel Ghoul Goblin, and then the short story B is for Bigfoot. So those are the 3 things, Dresden, that I will be reading in February. I will be continuing my buddy read with Andrew, reading through The Royal Assassin, and I will be reading The Effort Diet with Sandi from Miss Reads a Lot. Then finally, my book club, that's just my friends and I, are reading The Night Parade, which is something that we started in January. It's just carrying over. So that's not technically a February book, but I'm going to be reading it in February. Okay, one of the other things that we're going to be reading in February is the second part of the Orilium adventure this year, and I started out, I'll show you what it looks like where my people are, but I can't zoom in as well there, so I wanted to zoom in now and talk about this. So first, one of my people started turning to the left and the other one turned to the right. So I started a series in January and I finished a series or got caught up on a series in January. So then okay, never mind. I forgot that I can do it this way. Anyway, over here we have Emmeline, and she's the one who turned right. And so she's got to decide if she's going to go to the castle or go in a cave. And then over here we have Adrian, and she has got to decide if she's going to go to the forest or go towards a lake. So it doesn't really matter what we decide because either way, they're going to end up fighting things next month in March. But for now, this is what they have to do. So we're going to randomly pick a number. First, we'll do Adrian 1 or 2, and then we'll do Emmeline 1 or 2. Okay, so it says the answer is 1. Adrian is going to go to the forest. So that is any book with a tree on the cover. So hopefully in February, one of the books that I already plan to read will have a tree on the cover. If not, I may have to pivot and make one with water on the cover or just add an extra book to my TBR, which I don't want to do. So hopefully I can find a tree on the cover. Now let's see about Emmeline. Pick a number 1 to 2. Okay, so also 1. She's going to be going to the castle, so I need a building on the cover. So during my reading this month, I'm trying to find a tree on the cover or trees on the cover and a building on the cover. I don't think that'll be too difficult to do as we go along. So that's it. My physical books, I only have 2. So for what I'm reading this month, I have this little stack, but we know that with the other books, it's a much larger stack. So this is going to be where I start, and then we'll see what happens as we go through the month of February. Let me know what you guys read in January. What was your favorite book of January? Or let me know what you're going to be reading in February. Are you reading any of the books that I'm reading? Are you in any of those read-alongs or readathons with me? I'm not participating in any readathon in February. I just did Keymark in January. I'm going to take a break for a little while. So I will see you guys in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.